Let's have another example. A man applies a force of 300 newtons at an angle of 60 degrees to the door, 2 meters from the hinges. Find the torque on the door, choosing the position of the hinges as the axis of rotation. Suppose the wedge is placed 1.5 meters from the hinge. On the other side of the door, what minimum force must the wedge exert so that the force applied in part A won't open the door? So for this example, I think we have an R, a theta, and a force. And that is torque is equal to force R sine theta. So let's solve that. For letter A, we will have this diagram. So we apply the force with a 60-degree angle, and it's 2 meters from the hinge. So we have this formula, torque RF sine theta, plug it in, and we will have this answer, 520 Newton meter. So that will be our torque. So for letter B, suppose the wedge is placed on this other side of the door. Now our goal, so this is the wedge. So we put a wedge here with a certain force. It is 1.5 away from the hinges. Okay, what would be the minimum force of this one? What is the minimum force of this one so that the applied force to open the door won't be effective? So how to solve that? Now, when you say it won't open, that means torque should be equal to 0. So let's solve for this one first. The torque in this side should be equal to the torque on the other side. So for this one, we have the force, the R, and the sine theta. So that would be, so the door will not open. That means actually that the torque here is 0, or simply the net torque is 0, or simply the torque is equal. So if you compute the torque in this side, so that would be force times R, which is what force will be the wedge with an R of 1.5. So if we compute that, we will have this. So we have here 520 Newton meters. That will be our torque. And we have here force. What will be the minimum force of the wedge so that it will not move? Let's divide this with 1.5. Let's divide this with 1.5. Therefore, the force, the minimum force for the wedge, so that this door will not move, even though you apply the force here, but there's a force against you by the wedge, will be 346.67 newtons. So that would be the minimum force of the wedge.